Welcome to the Fantasy Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. Here's your host, Morgan Colby and Rick Lemon.
What's going on, Fantasy Champs? It's time. Hey, like that guy who does the UFC fights. It's time.
Who's the guy? Is it the same guy that does like the boxing matches too? Like, let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah, I don't think it's that guy.
Oh.
But anyway,
I was gonna say we should hire that guy.
We should hire that guy to just do our voiceover at the beginning instead of the deep voice guy that we got now. No offense, whoever you may be. But welcome to the Fantasy Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. My name is Morgan Colby. I got Rick Lemon with me as always, and the reason why I say it's time is because the freaking NFL season is 26 days away.
Yeah.
And
I think so.
Tonight, as we're recording this podcast on Thursday, this is not the case for you watching, but there's football on tonight. And there's also football on Friday night where you're listening to this podcast, and there's also football on Saturday, the majority. There happens to be a good old football game on Sunday at 4:30.
Ooh, 4:30 on a Sunday.
From now all the way to February, second Sunday in February, I think it is, there is football on.
That's awesome.
So we are cruising. Love it.
We're getting started.
I'm excited. I did 7 mock drafts this morning.
Wow. That is a lot.
You do one, and I did one, and I just can't get anything out of it. So I got to do 6.
Do you do it with bots all the time, or you do it with real people?
I do it with bots. I should do a couple with real people.
You got to do it real, because this is what you do. You do this every year. You do 150 mock drafts.
No, bro, it works. It works.
You have a plan.
No, because
and then
somebody
in our league will draft somebody 30 spots higher than he's supposed to go, and then you're like, what the heck? Fair. Everything's thrown off. And then it gets to your pick, and nobody that you did mock drafts is actually there.
Do you know what happens more often?
What?
What happens more often is where did my brain go? I literally lost my train of thought.
It's gone.
What happens more often for me is guys fall, and then I end up taking them. I actually write down before the draft my team, and it's usually about 75% accurate. Most of the time,
now,
because
that's kind of crazy.
I reach a little bit on some players, but no. So 2 years ago in 2020, 2020 was Jonathan Taylor's rookie season, right?
Yep.
So I wasn't going to take him because I was like, you got Marlon Mack there. There's other issues for the Colts. And I was like, I'm not going to take him. And he was a 4th round pick, I think. Fell to the 6th round. And I was like, beginning of the 6th. And I was like, hells yeah, I'll take that. So I took Jonathan Taylor in the 6th round. And then last year, Hawk was like...
That was wild.
Hawk was like a 4th or 5th round pick. And he fell to me in like the 7th. So,
that might happen again.
Yeah.
I do mocks with real people. He's there in like the 9th round.
Oh my God.
Nobody likes Hawk.
But anyway, I did do a mock with real people. Shout out to I don't know if I told you this, Rick, but shout out to the people over at 4for4. Adam Hutchison had me mock draft with those guys.
Okay.
And they threw together an article. So if you want to check it out over there, I tweeted it. I think I crushed everyone. So it's all right.
Well, there you go.
But anyway, welcome to the fantasy football. Oh wow, Fantasy Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. My brain. I told Rick before this show.
It's fried.
My brain is fried, and I have no mental capabilities left. But with what I have, with the last brain cell I have, I'm gonna try to draft today.
That's why I'm here to help him today.
Yeah. So
we're gonna do one team. Because that's all I can handle.
Just one. Yes, so we're just going to do one team because that's all my brain cells can handle. And we're going to give you the best mock draft strategy on the planet for this one show. So before we do that, check out our website, fantasychampions.com. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Also for the Fantasy Champions website, something new might be coming soon. Hopefully, it's done before the season starts.
Yeah, well,
That would be
hopefully.
good. But anyway, so if you're listening on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, or any other podcast platforms, leave a review, share this podcast with your friends. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, like and comment down below. Good stuff. All right, so for today's mock draft, we are going to do I think it's a 12-team, always 12-team. I can't. Last week we did a standard draft, and I couldn't handle that.
I think that's probably the last standard draft we're going to do this year.
Ever.
Maybe ever. Potentially.
But I always do 12-team. I never do 10. So maybe next week we should do a 10-team just to appease the folk who have 10 teams. They only got one guy got together and said, I only have 9 friends.
I mean, our home league was a 10-team for the first few years, wasn't it?
Yeah. So we know what it's like.
Yeah.
Now I got people busting at the seams, and last year I had a call for a 14-team league, and I'm like, no thanks, all good. I'll stick to 12.
Yeah, 12 is perfect.
The 15th round is already difficult. I might draft a defense this year, Rick.
Okay, let's not get carried away. You drafting a defense?
One of my mocks, I took Brian Robinson in the 15th round.
Maybe you will draft a defense then. Who knows?
Just to see how it felt.
Who's going to draft a defense in the 10th round this year?
Oh, I like how Sleeper changed with their bot auto, the bot mock drafts. How they changed it so that people only take defenses in the last 2 rounds, because before
that is nice.
They randomized it and it was like 9th round, and I'm like,
you should not draft a defense until the 15th round if you're going to draft one.
I know. So my thought is that our home league, by the way, if you're listening, to Rick and I rant at each other, our home league is drafting on Labor Day. So I figured what I would do this year is just take the best defense available for week 1.
That's what you did last year, I think.
No, I took a player and then I waited.
Oh, okay.
That probably
was. That's what I did. That's what I usually try to do. But then something gets thrown off. I don't know. We'll see.
But if you don't draft on Labor Day,
dude, you're gonna have your first choice of defense.
I could
15-2,
but that's not going to happen, bro, because somebody's going to be stupid and draft a defense in the 10th round.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. But between me and you, you're going to get first choice.
Yes. All right. So we are going to do a 12-team PPR mock draft, generic settings, 2 flexes, tight end, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, quarterback. We also have a defense applied, so maybe Rick and I will take a defense today.
Maybe.
We'll see. But are you ready to get this popping? By random selection, we got pick
11.
11?
Yeah, very interesting.
Very interesting. So without further ado, let's get this up on the screen and start the mock draft. What about you? What say you, my guy?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So first off the board for the first 6 picks of the draft, we have Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, and then our pick.
Am I not in this draft?
No, you are. I screwed it up. Hold on a second.
Dude, this is why you said you have half a brain cell.
I literally told you. I'm going to back the truck up here.
You're supposed to not be in it.
I'm not supposed. Oh, I'll let it automatic itself. Oh,
yeah. Can you do that?
I was supposed to
auto pick.
Did it?
It might not let you.
I'm gonna auto pick myself.
Yeah, just auto pick yourself every pick.
All right. Can I set myself to auto?
Should be able to.
Okay. All right. Then, I did not take Dalvin Cook.
Auto pick Dalvin.
I had to record it. And when I hit
start,
it
would be interesting to see who does better, our team or your auto team.
That's funny. Yeah, we'll see at the end. But anyway, Jamar Chase. Dalvin Cook was picked at 1-7. 1-8 was Jamar Chase. Najee was 1-9. And then we got Joey Mixon at the 1-10. What are your first initial thoughts here, Rick, as we decide on a player?
Yeah, so I will say I think Stephon Diggs is the best player available here in PPR.
What do we say? BPA, best player available.
Yeah, because of with Buffalo's situation. I mean, he had 160 something targets last year, and
the efficiency declined for him from the previous year. I think
the efficiency declined, and his opportunity might even be better this year.
Yeah.
as I think Emmanuel Sanders and Cole Beasley are both gone. So it's literally just him, Gabe Davis.
Well, you're not worried about Jamison Crowder?
No, I'm not
and
at
Gabe
all.
Davis?
But if you look at like what's available to us, it's a lot of wide receivers, and then I think DeAndre Swift. I mean, I know Nick Chubb's not bad, but to me, I think Swift is in a tier above Nick Chubb for PPR. So, do we want to take Swift here and then just be okay with any receiver we get at 2-2? Or do we want to take a risk and go Diggs and see if Swift's still there?
Normally, I would say the risk would be letting Swift fall and taking Diggs. But do we feel like how much better is Stephon Diggs than I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that we both would be like, okay, let's draft CeeDee Lamb at 2-2 if we wanted to take a receiver.
Yep.
So how much better is Stephon Diggs over CeeDee Lamb in PPR for you?
I think he's better for sure, but I would rather not lose out on Swift, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I'd rather go Swift and Lamb than
we
like
could
Diggs
always get both and then take Akers and ETN.
True.
I'm not going zero running back.
Yeah. So Swift, you think?
It's a good. I was actually gonna say because my brain was so dead that I thought we were actually picking at 1-7, and I was gonna say maybe we should take Chase here just to see what happens.
Bro,
I don't think we've taken a wide receiver in the first round.
All right, Diggs or Swift? It's got to be one of those.
Hold on. Well, you're putting it on me, so
I am leaning. I'm leaning Swift just because I'm better with the receiver that we're going to get at 2-2 than the running back. But we could go Diggs, and then worst comes the worst. We could do Diggs and Lamb and then go Akers and ETN. That's really not a bad idea.
Before I agree with you and you take DeAndre Swift, if you're in your home league, you might be able to, or not just home league, in a draft where you know the other players drafting. If you know Team 12, for example, here is a team that's like, oh, I go zero running back. I don't want anything to do with he's a Kelsey running back in the first 2 rounds, or he's a Kelsey guy. And you just know for a fact that 112 and 2-1 are not going to be a running back. Then I would honestly take Diggs or Adams here. Take the shot, and then let Swift fall to you. But because we don't know anything about Rando 12 over here, we should just take the guy that we know. Like, if you don't know, you're drafting with a bunch of random guys, then you have to take the guy that I think is better, that has extreme upside, and at a position that is just at such a premium in fantasy football in recent years. You have to take DeAndre Swift. So I agree with Rick. We'll take DeAndre Swift. What? I literally turned the audio off. You stupid sleeper.
It works out for us.
Okay, that whole discussion is over. Stephon Diggs is the pick, right?
Yep.
Okay. So Adams and Kelsey came off the board. We take Stephon Diggs here. I got to randomize my pick. And then
Josh Allen.
After my pick. Yeah, there we go, baby. This is going to be totally not a team I would draft. But after our Stephon Diggs selection, Nick Chubb, Mark Andrews, CeeDee Lamb, Josh Allen, Tyreek Hill, Alvin Kamara, Deebo Samuel. This is a long turn. We'll talk about the turn in a second, I guess. But where was I? Alvin Kamara, Deebo Samuel, Javonte Williams, Keenan Allen, Ezekiel Elliott, Barkley, going back in the 3rd round, Barkley Jones, Leonard Fournette, Pitts, Evans, Connor, A.J. Brown, I was going to say Julio Herbert, but that's Justin Herbert, T. Higgins, and then Patrick Mahomes, and then our pick. So I was going to say with the Stephon Diggs pick, because we just took him spending 20 minutes on deciding whether or not to take him, and Rick was right, Kelsey guy. I mean, technically we could have waited, but I guess it didn't really matter the order.
Yeah, it didn't. Those were the 2 guys.
How do you feel about? Because in a lot of drafts, I've actually been leaving the first 2 rounds with multiple running backs on my roster before I even hit receiver. How do you feel about the first and second round being running back receiver? Is that what you've been tending to do in your leagues?
Yeah, it is a little bit.
Okay.
But actually, no, not really. It really depends on how the board shifts. I'm kind of open to what it is.
Yeah.
And to be completely honest, it wouldn't be a bad idea to go running back, just because the depth at wide receiver is just crazy. Like you can get really good wide receivers in round 4, 5, 6. Where I don't know if you're getting really great running backs in those rounds, and beyond, right?
Yeah.
After the first couple rounds, the running back position feels like it really dies off. While there's just so much depth at wide receiver. So I would be okay with going running back, if it's there. But I'm also okay with running back receiver.
The other thing is I looked at a couple of drafts I did last year, I think yesterday, and I counted how many receivers went in the first 2 rounds last year, and it was, I think, an average of 6 or 7. This year, there's an average of 9 or 10. So there's more receivers going off the board. So the question is that a bad thing? Or do we still have the depth in those later rounds and you're just zigging when everyone else zags by taking multiple running backs?
Yeah.
That might give
I'm
you
not
an
sure.
extra
I think
advantage.
Yeah. No, I would say that too.
Okay. We are now on the clock here for the last 3 minutes at 3:11, and we have a couple of different options here. We could go running back again, and take. I would say our options are, and Rick, you can say you disagree or not. I would say Cam Akers, Travis Etienne, or Gibson would be my choices at running back.
Yeah, I would say definitely Akers or Etienne.
And then at receiver. There's McLaurin is Rick's guy. I'm curious if he would throw him in that conversation. Deontay is not a bad choice. If we really liked Deontay Johnson, he's probably a guy that we can wait to take at the turn, but I'm not enamored because of the offensive
so you know
situation.
how I've been up and down on him all offseason?
Okay, give me the facts.
So post projections, I'm a little down on him.
Yeah, that's how
the Steelers is just it's hard.
There's a
I would say McLaurin over Deontay.
There's a couple of receivers that I'm kind of like,
but
I'm down on that. I'm not sure. Like DK keeps falling to me in the 5th round in my home league mocks, and I'm like, should I take him or should I just not deal with that? And it's been very difficult.
I think if we were to go receiver here, we'd go probably Pittman.
Yeah,
but I feel like we
Pittman.
can wait.
Yep.
So you want to go? I think Akers would be the pick here.
Yeah, I'll
ETN, honestly, though, if you're drafting in your leagues and this is your spot, I wouldn't hate ETN here if you're not an Akers
now,
person.
The only thing I will say about ETN is I believe he... Never mind, I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
I was going to say, I thought he sustained some kind of injury, but that's probably another player.
No, he's actually playing in the preseason game on Friday.
Okay, all right. Yeah, no, he's been fine.
Should be good. All right, so Cam Akers?
Yeah, we'll take Akers. Deontay Johnson, Michael Pittman at the turn. We got sniped. With that being said, Rick, go ETN. Do it.
All right. I like it.
Same thoughts. All right, so we have 2 flexes right now. ETN is filling our second flex spot. Is that correct? Our first flex spot.
Flex, yeah.
So I think now we need to kind of go on a run of receivers. Yeah. I was trying to see if I could set myself to auto.
You freaking took. Oh, so this is this is something.
Dalton Schultz is a 5th round pick.
I guess so. Yeah.
When did that happen?
Dude, so DK Metcalf fell to us.
Yeah. See, this is what I've been talking about. But
where do you have him ranked?
Let me look.
Because I'm going to pull up my rankings, and I'm pretty sure I still have guys ahead of him who are available. I know the ADP is screaming to select Metcalf.
Right now, I have DK Metcalf at wide receiver. Where are you, buddy? Oh my god.
Yeah, I got quite a few receivers.
Oh, I'm in running back, dude. This is a mess. My brain is not working today. I was legit in running back. I got him at wide receiver 16.
Wide receiver 16.
17.
Do you know where I have DK Metcalf?
I'm gonna say wide receiver 24.
Wide receiver 30.
See, I don't know about that deep.
Dude, Drew Lock is their starting, or Geno Smith is their starting quarterback. That's the only thing. It's just
The
like
hate is
I cannot
unwarranted.
buy in to the Seahawks offense. I just cannot do it. But if you want to go Metcalf at this point, I would be okay with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say like he is slipping in drafts. Now what I would do here is if I was in my home league draft where I care or you're paid a lot of money to get in the league, what I would do is I would take the guy we want here and then see if Metcalf falls, because that team 12 over there, I don't know if the last time you checked. No, I don't know if the last time you checked, but they got 3 wide receivers and a tight end. So they're going to be going running back. So if they're typically, we already got 3 backs, so we don't need more. Right. Typically what I would do is take the highest back on the board to just pull that away from Team 12.
Play games with them.
Just be like, you can't have this guy. We're not going to do that because I don't like any of the running backs here, and I don't really want to do that. But I think we definitely should go receiver. So if there's a receiver that we want over Metcalf,
I will give you the list of guys I have ranked higher than Metcalf that are still available.
Okay.
Hollywood Brown, Chris Godwin, Rashad Bateman, Juju Smith-Schuster, Michael Thomas, Darnell Mooney.
So according to
I have them all higher than
should
Metcalf.
Have Marquise Hollywood Brown taken here.
You would take Hollywood?
I've been trying to decide between. Okay, so you have Darnell Mooney, Marquise Brown, right?
Yeah.
And then Bateman. Of those 3 guys, what order would you rank them?
What was it? Mooney, Hollywood, Bateman?
Yeah.
I would go Mooney. I'm higher on Mooney than most guys. Then probably I have Hollywood and Bateman back to back in my rankings, but I would choose Hollywood.
Okay, so who would you take here? Hollywood?
Yeah, because I know Mooney will be available next pick. I think the highest guy I have ranked is Michael Thomas at this point. But
unless we're in a position where DK's on the board.
It's up to you, bro.
All right, let's take Marquise.
We're going to get 2 good receivers. So you want Hollywood?
Yeah, let's take Hollywood.
Okay. So we're going to get 2 good receivers either way, Metcalf and Clyde.
Oh, my God, dude. Team 12. What the hell, guys? All right, so that doesn't – I was setting that all up to be like, all right, we got to take Metcalf at 6'2", but Team 12 screwed us. So
that's okay. I never wanted Metcalf.
Wanted where are you mentally here on Michael Thomas?
I mean, he's going to play. He's healthy. So whether that means he's going to play the whole season, you view him like McCaffrey or Saquon at the receiver position because he's missed almost 2 years. Mm-hmm. And you think he's injury prone, that's one thing. But he is going to play. Like all the reports are indicating that he's playing. He's playing in all the practice. He's participating in every practice drill. Apparently on Wednesday, he dominated practice, was the best player. So if he's back, I mean, you would think he's in the conversation of like the first 4 rounds, right? If it's Michael Thomas.
I mean, the last time he played, it wasn't good.
No. That was with Breeze, though, wasn't it? Breeze's last year.
Yeah, it was.
And he wasn't good, but he wasn't awful. He just didn't get any touchdowns.
From week 9 to 14 in 2020, he
still had 40 catches.
In PPR, 10, 4, 19, 9, 19, 16.
Yeah, that's not great.
In PPR. In friggin' standard, he sucked.
No touchdowns, though. Remember, no touchdowns.
Yeah, so, I mean, he played in 2020, so that's good. It feels like he hasn't played in 2 years, but he just didn't play all of last season. So it just depends on what you like. Do the injuries completely prohibit him from playing well? I don't know. But would you take Thomas over the guys we just talked about, the Darnell Mooneys, the Chris Godwins, the Rashad Batemans?
I would take Thomas over all those guys except maybe Mooney because he's my guy.
Okay, Mooney's on the board. There has been a guy that I have been taking over Darnell Mooney on this list a lot.
And who is that?
It's Juju.
I'm
trying to get a piece of the Chiefs offense somehow.
That's fair.
But for all intents and purposes, let's take Darnell Mooney just for fun.
Okay, Darnell Mooney then.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, after that pick.
So are you out at Michael Thomas then?
I don't know. Let's see what my team does. Rashad Bateman. Good team. Auto picking me a good player. No, I'm not out on Michael Thomas. I'm nervous about not the injury, but the comeback from the injury, the return. Because being out for that amount of time, like if Watson was to come back, he hasn't played in 2 years either. So like I would be like, okay, what do we expect from Deshaun Watson in a real football game, right? It's kind of the same thing with Michael Thomas. He just hasn't played in so long that it's like, that is obviously going to affect him at least for the first couple weeks of the season. And then you're talking about the injuries that he had and his age. All of that combined, some people are looking at him as like okay, kind of similar to how some people are looking at Ezekiel Elliott, where like you have Zeke going off the board in what, the third round, second round in this draft, but in the third round typically.
Third round.
He's not going to be a top 5 running back. It's just not going to happen. And I think that a lot of people are like, I would bet money on the fact that he's not going to be a top 5 running back in fantasy football. Like, so, but I think a lot of people are drafting him in the third round with the anticipation that he can be that kind of player. So my issue with Michael Thomas is that as he moves up drafts, which he has been, I think that people are going to start to see him as a player that, now as a 6th round pick, 6'10" here he was taken, I would not have a problem with that. But I think people look at him as a receiver that is going to ascend into the top 10 or top 5 or has that chance, so they're going to take him, when the reality is that he's just a wide receiver too, because he hasn't played, he's old, and the injuries are going to catch up to him. Not in terms of like him getting hurt in a game, but just in terms of like the amount of time it took him to come back from injuries that don't take you that long to come back from is very concerning. That's like very, very concerning. So that's kind of how I feel about Michael Thomas. I feel like there's just like a 2-3% chance that he goes back to top 5 production.
Yeah, that's fair.
But as a 6th round pick and the 30th wide receiver off the board?
Yeah, something like that.
I'd take him. Anyway, after our pick, we had Godwin, Sanders, Cook, Bateman, St. Brown, TJ Hawkinson, AJ Dillon, Michael Thomas, Jalen Hurts, Juju Smith-Schuster, and then at the turn, we had Adam Thielen, DeAndre Hopkins, Hunter Renfrow, Damian Harris, Russell Wilson, Kareem Hunt, Gabe Davis, Dallas Goedert, Drake London, and then Kenneth Walker. I was going to ask you a question about Kenneth Walker real quickly.
Okay.
Ken Walker, today there's a report that Rashad Penny's hip flexor is not feeling good.
Yes, I saw that.
And it made me think, what are the chances Kenneth Walker works out this year? Because Penny, I already talked about this last time. If Penny just craps the bed, like, are we starting to think about drafting Walker here in the 7th round at some point?
No.
Okay.
Not me.
Quick and dirty conversation. All right, now we are on the clock. So we have some good receivers here. We got our wide receiver 1, Stephen Diggs, Gucci. We have Marquise Hollywood Brown here at 5'11". I like that. And then Darnell Mooney as one of our flexes next to Cam Akers. So the starting lineup
Travis
is...
Etienne.
Wow, sorry. Travis Etienne. I guess it's interchangeable at this point. But so we can either go quarterback, tight end. This draft looks like everyone went tight end. 3 teams without a tight end at this point. Based on the tight ends that have taken, I would say no to that proposition. There's no one left that I would be like, okay, let's draft a tight end here.
No.
So we could.
I don't mind Ertz or Knox, but not yet.
Okay.
Not in the 7th round.
Why is Tom Brady? Is he really going this high?
Okay, this is another thing, bro. Post rankings. And I was down on Brady, and now I'm back up. It's annoying. I know it's annoying, but like he's thrown 40 touchdowns in both years, and now he's got Julio Jones.
I know.
And Chris Godwin's going to come back, and Mike Evans is still there, and they got Russell Gage as a wide receiver 4.
Yeah.
I projected a worse season than last year by a significant amount, and they still projected as my QB 8.
Oh, that's not bad, but it's not worth Well, I mean, I guess it fits in right where we are. What do we got?
I have him ahead of every quarterback.
8 quarterbacks taken off the board. So right now would
maybe
be
not
Tom
Trey
Brady's
Lance,
time.
but
I
Trey
just
Lance
feel
is
like you
interesting.
can project out that, and then there's the factor.
I'm not saying to draft him.
There's the
It's just a
cliff.
note.
The cliff is blind. The cliff knows no names. You don't see the cliff. It just happens.
Yep.
I mean, Peyton Manning threw 50 touchdowns the year before he hit the cliff.
True.
So
That is true.
But Tom Brady, I mean, I saw him on a couple camp videos, and he does not look any different.
No.
He looks
Of course
fine.
not.
But anyway, so we're not going to go Tom Brady here. But
No.
we could go quarterback. And then my other option would be wide receiver. What are your thoughts?
You mean could go quarterback? I don't think we should go quarterback.
I'm just throwing out options
Here.
Is there any
Yeah,
running
I would
backs,
say
too?
the only running backs I like here. I don't know how you feel about Chase Edmonds, but in PPR I don't mind it.
Yuck.
Tony Pollard and Penny are kind of like, I don't want Patterson. I'm out on Patterson.
I would consider Penny.
Okay.
Only not at 7-Eleven or 8-2.
No.
My
Yeah, I don't want
problem
any
is
of these. So I think receiver, right?
At 8-2, we would have to take Penny as a reach because he's not getting back to 9.
I personally, you know how I feel about this, who I would pick. Right?
Elijah Moore, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to veto that.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Well, you better give me a better option.
That's fair. That's very
Can't veto it and then give me
I haven't drafted one
Chris Olave.
share of Treylon Burks. And I'm not going to now. I don't know. That's actually a great question because there's literally no one on the board.
I wouldn't say literally no one.
So I like.
Do I have to give you my TikTok stat?
No. I like Ayuk.
Okay. Yeah, I like him too.
Yeah,
you don't think we could get Ayuk at the turn though? With our next pick?
Well, yes, we could get him at the turn. But this is a tough pick. This is not that it's a wasteland, but okay, not named Elijah Moore. Yeah, not named.
If
Elijah
I wasn't
Moore.
gonna pick Elijah Moore, I would just reach on Ayuk. He's the next best receiver to me.
But we are literally turning at 8-2, so
right.
All right, just take Elijah Moore and do it.
Yay!
All right, Brady and Cordero Patterson. This team over here, Team 12, has got Clyde and Cordero Patterson as their running back 1 and 2.
Do we want to go running back, or are we just go with Ayuk?
Yeah, let's just go with that. Hold on a second.
Oh, I almost clicked it.
All right, I'm gonna hope that the guy I want at 9-11 is gonna be there, and I'll let you know who it is when we get there.
Okay, so
yeah,
Ayuk.
Take Ayuk. I don't like how many receivers that we've taken, but
in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did go running back heavy early on.
After my pick, oh shoot. After I just accidentally put Zach. I auto picked my pick prior.
That's fine. Whatever. Who cares?
Brandon Ayuk, Devonta Smith. I have 2 freaking tight ends on this team over here. I swear to God, guys, I did not draft this team, even though it says my name above it. We had Ayuk, Smith, Prescott, Pollard, Singletary, Knox, Penny, Tyler Lockett, Burks, Jared Cook, Chris Olave, Melvin Gordon, Lazard, Robert Woods, Chase Edmonds, Roger Stafford, Ertz, Wilson, Gesicki, and then Christian Kirk. And the guy that I wanted at 9-11 is here.
And who is that?
The other guy that I wanted is also here. So I don't know what Team 12 is going to do, but right now, wow, he just took his... Okay, all right. Here's what I want to do. I want to take Sky Moore at 9-11, and I want to take Trey Lance at 10-2.
Okay.
Is there any other options at this pick that you would go with, though?
If I was picking, I would take Trey Lance. I would absolutely take Trey Lance here. But my other pick would probably be Stevenson because we have so many running or receivers, and I'm all of a sudden in on Rahammed Stevenson.
Ramondre,
whatever.
Muhammad. Okay. I like that though. We'll just
Ramondre
Stevenson. We'll call him Muhammad from now on.
Because we only have 3 running backs, but we can go Sky Moore if you want, and just have 3 running backs. That's fine.
So the thought process is, let's split. Let's split the difference.
Should we go Trey Lance first?
We agree on Trey Lance at 10-2.
I think we should go Trey Lance first.
No, because look at Team 12.
Yeah, I know, but it's
they're gonna draft. They're gonna draft.
It's
Trey
an
Lance.
auto pick, bro. You took 2 tight ends.
That's fair. I will take the risk. So normally in a draft, I would look at Team 12 and go, they just took their quarterback. They feel good about that. Know. Trey Lance is gonna fall to us. I swear.
Normally, yes, but this isn't AI. It doesn't work like that.
Why don't you take?
Look at Team 5. They took Russell Wilson, then Aaron Rodgers.
I want to risk it. Take Ramondre.
Oh my gosh, bro! They took Derek
Carr. Oh my! What? You're right. Wow. The AI is stupid, but
holy cow!
You underestimate how stupid it could be. So Kadarius Toney and Derek Carr come off the board. That leaves Trey Lance. So I mean,
not bad picks until you see that they took Derek Carr over Trey Lance.
So I would definitely take Trey Lance here, obviously. That's what we wanted to do.
Oh, and we got that Trey Lance Brandon Ayuk stack, which could be good.
I like
if Trey Lance ends up being really good.
I like it. What about the?
It's a good team. It's not a bad team.
Let's auto pick that. So after that pick, we had Muth, Robinson, Carter, Claypool, Boyd, Gage, Kmet, Isaiah Spiller, Sky Moore, and then
here come the defenses.
Right as I say that, right? I'm like, oh, they haven't been drafting, and now they're drafting in the middle of the freaking draft.
11th.
Oh, my God. Pierce, Henry, Madison, Buccaneers D, Albert O, 49ers D, Watson, Landry, Rams D, Bills D, and then us.
Jeez, this is a wasteland.
Is OTC. I would say, okay, so we don't have a tight end. Kmet is gone. And at this point, we do have to take a tight end. I'm not against Irv Smith because I guess you could say, like, Thielen is old as dirt. I'm nervous about the tree there of where he gets to. Like, I think he's the 3rd best target on the team. And then after you factor that in, he also has an injury. So that makes it tough. I've liked Noah Fant. The numbers are down on him. But
I have him projected
he's
not
in any of a different situation than he was in Denver. So, like, I don't know why people are as far down on him as normal. But those are the 2 guys. I would Njoku if I knew
about Deshaun
Watson.
Yeah. I think no offense, my tight end 17 or 18. So I'd probably pass on him.
Really hate the Seahawks.
Honestly, I don't know if you are. I'd be willing to wait on Robert Tonyan.
Bob? Yeah, I'll do that.
But if I were to take a tight end here, it would be Irv Smith.
So my option here at 11-11 would be at wide receiver. I like Gallup.
Sure, yeah, Gallup's not bad.
Gallup and Rondale. And then I don't mind Henderson. And I don't mind Rashad White.
Okay, yeah, I don't mind White either. I was going to throw Naheem Hines because I saw an interesting stat, ignoring the latest news thing. But Matt Ryan, you know how because I looked it up. We did a show the other day about ETN, and I said Trevor Lawrence led the league in like dump-offs last year.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan was number 2. So do you think Naheem Hines could get like one of those really gross running back seasons in PPR where they just get like 70 catches?
I think Matt Ryan's obsession with that situation is the fact that they had Cordero Patterson.
Sure.
So, with that being said, I don't know that that's a trend for him where he just passes it to the running back. I think that was just due to the fact that they literally had no weapons. And the only guy to throw the ball to was Cordell Patterson.
So then I'm thinking either White or Irv Smith. Rashad White or Irv Smith.
Yeah, take Rashad White.
Rashad White. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Scantling, Ronald Jones. Why don't you give me
Could go Gallup.
Michael Gallup.
Sure. I don't mind it.
Take Michael
We
Gallup.
still don't have a tight end, though. That's the only thing that...
You said wait on Tanyan.
I know, but it could backfire.
So, I think Gallup is starting on the PUP, which is a little bit concerning. But when you keep thinking about the Dallas Cowboys situation, like he's the second wide receiver on the team.
I could even give you a note here. So after, by the way, Gallup, it was Tua, Aim Hines, Darrell Henderson, Tyler Algier, Rondell Moore, Marlon Mack, Justin Fields, Irv Smith, Deshaun Watson, Jameson Williams, who is falling down boards that I'm kind of interested in a little bit. George Pickens, Jahan Dotson, Tyler Higbee, Kenny Golladay at 13-4 doesn't seem too bad. Baltimore Ravens defense, Jay McKissick, Khalil Herbert, LA Chargers, Julio Jones, and Jacoby Myers. So you want to know Fant? We could go dual tight ends here and go Fant and Tanyan because we don't know about Bob's health.
Yuck.
You think that's a good move?
Take one.
But Bob is at 189. His ADP, he's going to be available for our next pick.
That's fine. I don't want to take Noah Fant and Bob Tanyan though.
Who would our last bet? You would rather like a Devontae Parker or something?
I like Hardman.
Oh, dude, you and McCole Hardman.
Bro, it's the 13th round, and somebody's gonna hit, and it's not gonna be Scantling. So
yeah, and I don't think it's gonna be McCole Hardman either. It's gonna be Juju
what if it is?
And then Scott
What if it is, and you look like an idiot?
Okay, well, I'm willing to. If I'm gonna look like an idiot, I'm gonna look like an idiot saying McCole Hardman sucks. I have him as my wide receiver 72.
If we hadn't taken Michael Gallup,
you don't like Devontae Parker, bro? Patriots guy, come on. He's been the best receiver in camp by a mile.
Sure.
No, you know what? No, we'll take McCole Hardman because you want McCole Hardman.
To be honest with you, I think Parker probably has a higher floor.
All right, Hardman or Parker?
Just take Parker.
Okay.
I'll succumb.
Don't gotta tell me twice.
Right,
bro, no offense. Saints
Hardman.
Defense. You want me to take Tanyan?
Yeah, sure. Take Tanyan. Take Bob.
Way off the board.
There you go. Screw you guys with your double tight ends.
We're gonna be screwed if Bob doesn't play week 1, though.
Oh my god, I know. You get a stream of tight end. This is absurd. Like, is this normal for like 15 tight ends to come off the board?
Yes.
It's freaking ugly as crap. So after that pick, we had Gainwell, Jalen Tolbert, Ingram, Cowboys.
Oh, Mac Jones.
Oh,
off the board.
We could have taken Mac Attack.
So
Cowboys, Njoku, Mostert, Chark, Trevor Lawrence, Hardman.
Oh, bro, this is perfect.
Everett, Packers, Broncos, Patriots, D's, Davis, Price, Watkins, Watson, Winston, Ryan, Edwards, Mac Jones, and then Darrell Williams.
If we do want to draft the defense,
yeah.
Colts defense is playing Houston week 1.
That sounds like 2 picks for Stephen Gilmore.
Or we could just take like KJ Osborne or Alex Pierce or
Dude, you know what? I hope
Odell
this is
or something.
This is
Curtis
just
Campbell.
A complete side note to
Nico Collins.
No,
I don't mind
I
that.
like that. We can take Colts D, but I was gonna say, I kind of just there's been a lot of like hype. Like before the season started, there was not a crowd for this last year, and all of a sudden there has been a crowd that has grown for Davis Mills, and I kind of want the Colts just to pants him. The Texans have been through enough, but it would just be hilarious if that guy just sucks and everyone looks like idiots for buying it on their 3rd round quarterback.
Hey, Davis Mills was a good prospect before he like broke both his legs.
Fair enough. The neck, man. He didn't
come out of nowhere. That's what it was. It was
the neck. Yeah. All right, take Colts D.
Colts defense. Okay, filling out the roster.
All right, Jamal. Oh, did you watch any Hard Knocks?
I'm planning on it.
Okay, I won't spoil it for you, but there was a whole clip of Jamal Williams giving a hype speech. Honestly, that show was like, maybe last year's the Dallas. This is blowing one episode and already blew the Dallas Cowboys one out of the water.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Good to know.
Dak and Zeke were like annoying. And like the whole team was like, yeah, we can win a Super Bowl, but it seemed like they didn't care.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, Jamal Williams and Dan Campbell are bawling their eyes out giving speeches to the team because they just want to win. He was screaming. Jamal Williams was in the huddle, but trying to break it down, and he's like screaming at everyone, going, "I never want to be effing 4-12 again."
Oh, I saw that clip. Yeah, they posted that as a trailer.
And he started crying, and I was like,
"It's awesome."
Normally, I'd be like, "Okay, get your act together," but I was ready to run through a wall for Dan Campbell and Jamal Williams. I was like,
Dude, that team was actually very interesting.
I want to go to war for the Lions.
They have a pretty easy schedule too. Like they could win sneakily, like 7 or 8 games. Maybe compete for a playoff spot.
I mean, is anyone rooting against it?
I'm not. I'm going for them.
All right.
Except when they play the Pats.
But. Back to our mock draft to complete the actual cycle of the mock draft. We drafted together DeAndre Swift, Stefon Diggs, Cam Akers, Travis Etienne, Hollywood Brown, Darnell Mooney, Elijah Moore, Brandon Ayuk, Ramondre. What do we call him? Rahammed Stevenson, Trey Lance, Rashad White, and then we have Michael Gallup, Devontae Parker, Bob Tonyan, and Colts D. Now I will say this: I like Gallup, and I have been drafting some Rashad White just to hedge the bets of this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. I haven't done a lot of Parker drafting.
No,
that's a new thing for me. But I think you have a solid foundation here for a team that at this turn here, 3-11. Rick's got to take some notes because he's team 9 in our mock draft. Cam Akers, Travis Etienne.
Oh, trust me, I know.
He's like, I know that pairing can definitely happen. But I think it's a solid lineup.
Yeah.
It's better than my auto pick team over here. Cook, Josh Allen, Brown, Kittle, Allen Robinson, Rashad Bateman. We got some good picks in there.
Couple good picks there.
Okay picks. I would never take Singletary or Gabe Davis. Or
yeah,
Zach
especially
Ertz.
Back-to-back.
Christian Watson, I wouldn't. Khalil Herbert and Tyler Algier, I would.
Yeah, your bench is definitely horrible.
But anyway, yeah, I think we did okay.
Yeah. So too.
All right. There you have it. Mock draft, end of the week. Keep an eye on the YouTube channel through the weekend. We'll probably have some YouTube shorts going out, help you guys out in fantasy football. Be sure to check that out. And on the podcast, we'll talk to you Tuesday, my friends. See you later.
See you.
Thank you for listening to the Fantasy Champions Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes and YouTube and follow us on Twitter @TheFFChamps.